Okay, so today we'll go through the architecture of Appian and then all Appian object at glance, and we'll explain a bit of tempo, interface in Appian. Okay, you will find this architecture even in the site, but the wording will be different. Okay, here we go. So these are our product architecture of Appian, where it is also divided into the data, application, and presentation layer as like other. Okay. Deepak, have you come across the architecture of any language?
Uh, I started with C sharp, but it's been a long time.
Okay. And about you, Preeti?
Not really, actually.
Okay. 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 So yeah, here you can see the data layer consists of the engines, databases, server, and file system. Okay, this is the four main thing it consists. What it consists? The engines, and database, servers, and here you can say antivirus can clouds only, right? So I yesterday also I told you guys like cloud with come with by default antivirus scan. Whenever you are uploading any file, our file is getting scanned before it is getting into the system. Oh my goodness. Okay, in the database, engines is what I think. Okay, so just like very lamentum, without engine we cannot start a vehicle. Likewise, without engine we cannot start a APN or any other tool. So there are mostly 9 plus 6 is what 15 engines in APN, where it is divided by the 3 and 6. Okay, 9 and 6, yeah, correct. It is just for your knowledge. Okay, this level no one will ask you, but it's better. I mean, you have the knowledge. The first one we can say is process analytics engine. The second one is process execution engine. So whenever I'm saying process analytics, So more, I will give you one link. Okay, from there you will find a more in depth about this thing. Okay, so I think we can see it later. Okay, I already portrayed it somewhere in the front of, yeah, here it is. Yeah, those 315 engines. Okay, here you can see at a very high level, it is composed of 6 main sub-components. The front-end hosting web API application, set up backend in-memory database engine, search server, our database and data server, and internal messaging. Okay, that what we can see the internal messaging server as well. Okay, so don't go through this all, but yeah, just remember, first of all, in the data layer mainly consists of engine, database, server, and file system. Okay, whenever it comes to the engines, so and there are 15 engines. Okay, where we have a 3 process execution, 3 process analytics. Excuse me. Okay, instead of data engine, we have a legacy portal. 3 to support legacy portal, and the 6 other engine is like content engine. So it stores the metadata. So basically a document. Okay. So content engine stores a metadata in document. Second one, so the content engine will store the document in general. Collaboration statistics is nothing but the let's say there is one document. Okay, let's say one PDF file. So it will store how many times that PDF file we use. So let's say the number like 7 times it used, and how much MB it will acquire. So let's say there are 25 MB. And one more thing, there is no limitation to upload a file in Appian. Okay, so it contains statistics of document uses and also refer to column states. Okay, it's a clear. The first one, remember that in data layer, it will contains 4 different part: the engines, the database, servers, and file system. We are into the engines, so there are 15 different engines in the Appian. The first is process analytics. We'll come back to you later. Process execution. Third one is to support legacy portals and 6 other engines. So what are the 6 other engines? Someone asked. So there is a content, collaboration statistic, and we do have portal notification. So just you can remember store notifications settings. and information. Information in terms of the notification sent to whom, and is there anything, any task given, that kind of thing. Fourth one is email notification. That is very straightforward. Fifth one is personalization engine, which store the information about user and group. And the last one is process design. Okay, so make sure whatever I written in the bracket, you remember that. So again, content, which will consist of document. Collaboration statistic will consist of the statistics on the document users and storage. Third one is portal notification. It stores the notification settings and in the all the information. Email notification, it will store the email detail, like how it will generate an email and send a mail basically. Okay, and personalization, it will store the user and group information. And the last one is process design. So it will store all the information of individual process model design. Okay, now coming to process analytics. So it will store when our process model perform any operations. So whenever it says analytics, I believe if you use the term analytics, so analytics is correlated to the analysis, okay, and execution. Mm, also, yeah, let's say, uh, okay, so it is also uh, store and retrieve information of process model using process report. As we already have one of the function, let's say event process analytics. Okay, so what does this function do? This function will query on a particular process model and we can get all the data, whatever we want. About the execution, so it will use to execute a process model. Okay, we'll go in deep again, but give you one more statement is, if you are using sub process, it will run on the same engine, whether start process run on the different engine. So that time they can utilize that second engine as well. Okay, so you can say effective load mm, balancing, and it will support the legacy portals. Straightforward. So legacy services. So let me give a very lemon example. Mm, okay, so yeah. Uh, so earlier, let's say we have a portal. Right now, also they are introducing a portal. So for that time, it will store all the information what that portal does. It will store the information on the forum, whatever the forum that is support. What is the discussion over there? Topic discussion. Okay, and we can see the channels. Okay, channel from the uh, like portal pages are okay, let me just give a quick example. We are getting in much depth. Uh, get confused. Okay, let's not go through this. So just like understand, like it will only support the legacy portals where legacy services are involved. Okay, straightforward. Okay, so is that correct? Is it clear? Process execution. It will use to execute process model like we can say manage execution. Correct. Manage execution of process. Very straightforward way. Okay. Process analytics. So basically, we can say is uh, stored. It will store whenever the process perform any operations or not. Basically, store and retrieve the information of the process model using process report. So we can say in layman terms, store like, information that we can use in process report all the data for respective process model. Okay, so have you understood the data layer? It lists the engines. So again, it is 15 engines, 3 process analytics, 3 process execution, 3 to support legacy portal, and 6 other. What are 6 other? So video, content, collab, portal, email, personalization, and process design. Okay, and whatever that I written in the bracket, make sure you remember that. Any question? I
No.
think it is. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Database you already know. Like it support the different databases, as I said yesterday as well. To manage the databases and six different databases we do have. So whenever we have a database, let's say MySQL. In MySQL, we created a table. Now, okay, so it will handle the database supported in Appian. And what does it mean? Provide it across the Appian application. In Appian application, if we are creating any object where we need to fetch a data, so that time we are using the query entity. So that time also there's a connection, direct connection between data store entity and database, and we can get the data. So that's why it provides entirely across the applications. And if required, we can also configure the other data sources from the admin console. Yes, sir. Coming to the search and data server, so if I can more focus on the search, so that is nothing but the aggregation. Data as well as to view user activity and analyze the dependency of the design. And search server always run on the Java application, a standalone Java application, and it is data. Okay, the benefit of this, it's a data redundancy and high availability. And whenever I'm talking about the data server, okay, so there are a lot more, but let's say internal messaging services. Okay, that's a video internal message service. So whenever it's available, okay, the data service depend on that availability of that. Okay, so store the application data as well as its metadata, and which just store the component like KDB, we can say knowledge database. Basically, it's stored whenever our database optimized for the write or history, we can say. All history will be there. Also used for the load balance. Then we have one appender. Okay, just no need to go through this in all in detail, but I'm just giving you a quick walkthrough. Okay, no, don't getting confused. Okay, so whenever we have appended component, so it generally perform the background operation. We do have a data client. So it will provide data service whenever interface can make a request. So whenever interface we need any data related component or database, so that time this data client component will activated. And the last is there is a watchdog. Okay, so watchdog component in data server, it handle the failures. It handle the failures, which means we can say it heals the component in failure scenarios. Okay, so basically no need to worry about all of this thing. So and just make sure you're aware that search server generally it is always phone is sending. Okay, search server are having the features data redundancy and high availability, and also we can see the aggregation of data as a view user activity analysis and dependency for the design, where the data server store the different like component, and basically it will store all the application data and the metadata that we have. Okay, so make sure you just aware about at least this. That's it, not more. File system. So in a very layman term, we can say there is more other the content directory in that file system, but it store data in the independent directories we can say also NFS like shared storage. And generally it will require when running a distributed environment. Multiple application server or engine on a different server. Okay, so that is about the data layer. So you just need to go through it because it's important point, okay, of the Appian. So that's why I covered today. So you can just go through today and tomorrow as well. It is just to understand, okay, how the architecture is and how the architecture look like. And you must need to be, if someone asks, you must need to be brief, okay, no need to go into this much depth, but you should need to know like what are the different 4 things or 5 things we do have. Yeah, how is that correct? And where is that I written? Uh, so I written somewhere the internal message service, right?
In the portal section.
In the portal. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. So it is also one of the important thing. So in the data server, it comes. So what does it mean? They will ask, in the interview. I don't think so. They will ask you this, but yeah, it's good to know because I recently got asked during one of the session. So yeah. Okay, basically it is responsible for relaying data between different components of the Appian's architecture. We can implement this using Apache Kafka. That is a tool basically, which is open source. System will publish, subscribe, semantics. We do have Apache Zookeeper, which coordinates leader election within Kafka cluster. Okay. And IMS, internal message service, is used as a transaction. Will showcase you how transaction log for the engines and the data service. Okay, make sure you will know this. Okay, so that's all about the data server, data layer. Coming to the application layer, that is very straightforward. Okay, here I also written somewhat very layman terms. Okay, if I can read this. So the engine is not it has a custom data type which is mainly used for the database table and write as CDT in Appian refer to table in database. Sub separate query rule which can be fetch data from database to Appian, and we can store all the data user activity on the engines. We can store document on the engine which were uploaded by user on Appian for the further usability. So this is what I explained, that is in much more depth, whereas I will just edit written this write up whenever someone asks the database architecture. So you have to explain like this. Database, the various database we do have. Data server, when we deploy one Appian application to higher environment, then we have to include the patch to deploy. That's what I said yesterday. And it will be stored in data server till the deployment completes successfully. Data server also consists of various filter that we applied, like that I said, aggregation, the creating a record. Search server, it will help to find any data while working with record, report, or any picker component. Using this, we can easily search for our desired service for the process flow. While doing analysis on server, we can identify whether the impact of rule or interface is higher or lower in the environment, due to which load balance of the environment will happen. The file system is nothing but the store the all archive process. Whenever if it is required, to be an archive in the future, it holds the log file for debugging, and by checking log file, we can find the error, and we can store all the uploaded file in which are in form document, any of the like basically PDF document, image, and Excel formats. Okay, so that is very brief about each and every component that the data layer have. Coming to the application layer, it looks like this. You can see the services integrations are basically the intermediate between data and presentation. Okay, here we can see that in the services we do have the different web servers. Okay, application business logic, as I said, built in Java. Server we are using the Apache, Kafka, Apache, Zookeeper, and it is hosted on the what is that? I said um, yesterday only I said it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that is a Tomcat. So it is hosted on basically Tomcat server and Tomcat and JBoss. So whenever we are selecting the data store or source, we can see that JBoss server over there. Okay. Third party is nothing but the integration services. Pre-built plugins, which we found on Appian Web Market. So here you can see web services, web APIs. So web service consists of REST and SOAP. Okay. REST is nothing but the HTTPS and SOAP. It is known as a simple object access protocol, and it is nothing but the XML. We do have XML, and it is also known as WSDL, Web Service Dynamic Link. Then the web API, I already tell you yesterday, and we'll see. Expose data to other system. We can have API keys. Showcase how the API key will generate it. It is in admin console. And whenever we do API key, it will require the service accounts. Then integration, we do have the entire this thing. Connected system, as I said, we do have by default. So right now you can see here RP, ERP. You can see the RPA, ERP, CMS, CRM, different AI systems, third party. Here we can see the plugins, pre-built application tools, and extension of the Appian platform that is available in the app market. We do have mail servers like POP3, IMAP, and SMTP, simple mail transfer protocol. Yeah. And here I showcase you yesterday. I told you like about the self-managed on-premise and cloud. So like cloud provider, here you can see AWS. In the we have a um, exe file, or we can say the software. Okay, we have to install it on our local machine for AWS, and whenever we connect through AWS, we can connect to the third-party network, whatever we need to work on. The by default certification it already have, and it offering the basically the log streaming, private link, cross-region RPO, dynamic VPN. Okay, it is system deployed services. Okay, so basically you just need to aware on the application layer is when someone asks So application layer consists of the different services where we can see where our what are our web server like Apache, IIS, JBoss, Tomcat. What is the no business logic? So our business logic of the APN will always store in the Java. Okay, then it will see like what are the different integration between those services. How can we integrate those services to the APN in our APN applications? So we are using the different REST services, connected system, integrations, web APIs. If we need to use some functionality, we can go to the app market, download the particular plugins. We can utilize the different plugins on our in our process model interface using the smart service or connected system, and at last the RPA. So to create a bots. Is that correct? Is that correct? Any doubt in this application layer? Are we good? Definitely need to go through it once, twice, thrice. But yeah, just try to understand, okay, like what the architecture is because it is really important to know. Okay. Any question?
So Piyush, one thing.
Yeah.
So you'll be sharing this document with us because we will. I think I will need to go through this document once again, once or twice again. So you'll be sharing this document, or how is it?
Oh yeah, sure. So I mean, see, this is the diagram I will share where I will,
Mm.
at the end of the session, we'll share where the
Yeah.
document is, and we'll share this
Yes.
all the notes that I prepared, that we prepared, right?
Yes.
That
Yes. Please. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
perfect.
Thank you.
We'll share it. Yeah, it is required to share. No worries. Yeah. Now coming to the presentation layer. Okay, that is the I can say look and feel of your application and also what you build to achieve the let's say functionality or the requirement. So generally presentation layer consists of let's say admin console that we are going to cover starting tomorrow. I mean Monday or next class. Okay, where all admin related activities laid down. And also laid down is admin console is nothing but the configurator of Appian design, and look and feel. We'll see how it is. Designer. So it is used to design objects, design application. And when I say application, it is a container of embedded is nothing but the whenever we need uh, to give our user input or I mean interfaces to any existing web UI. So that is known as embedded. How we are embedding, like by default we do Outlook and SharePoint, and also one of the message services as well, mail service as well we do have by default. So by default, if you are sending any mail, Okay, so you will receive that mail most probably on the Outlook. So Outlook is automatically configured in the API. And as I said, site and tempo. So site is nothing but the customized user interface designed with respect to end user requirement. Okay, where the tempo is by default component of the API. And both are coming as look and feel. So tempo, we are going to see what is the tempo is in next in next slide. So tempo consists of news, task, report, record, and action as stated. It cannot change nothing. Whether site is configurable and we can configure interface, records, reports, and actions. We can add up to 5 pages in site. So where all 5 pages, it might be a interface record report action and might be a action or record, or it might be only record and report, or it might be any component we can reuse. Okay, so that is why it is known as a customized user interface. Okay, so that's all about the architecture. We just need to go through it once. Now we'll see all the Appian object at glance. What are the different Appian objects? Later we'll see what is a temp interface. Any question before I winding up this architecture?
Just one question, you sir, for about if you can go back to the KDB section in the data layer.
Database. Yeah.
So it's written there. If you can, yeah, in the yes. This is the part. So it says stores application data and metadata, and which consists of components like KDB. So KDB in itself is stored inside data server, right? Because while I was working, there was a session where we had a KDB file issue, and I was supposedly tasked with that. So KDB files are like generally created on default, or like they're already existing. Because I just have a small confusion because I was trying to locate this file, this data, like if information is available or not, and it's pretty much just my curiosity, like what exactly KDB is and how it is generated. Like, does it generate automatically since once users start using Appian, or is it like already in existence? That's it.
Piyush, I think you are in mute.
Oh my God. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I spoke over the mute only in the mute only. Thanks for notifying me. So what I'm saying, whenever the KDB is knowledge database, okay, whenever you go to the community and wherever you ask any question in the discussion portal, that time it is storing on the KDB automatically. Okay. And all the question and answer, I mean, responses stored in the KDB automatically. And if you are searching on a Google for some of the, question you have, and just write space APN, it will give you the KDB link. So the KDB will be generated automatically with respect to the question answers. And it is basically store all the histories wherever the question has been asked. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
That question asked by us or by anyone
Anyone,
else
anyone,
incoming?
anyone. Question asked
So
by
all
anyone.
questions. So okay, all questions answered in the community. It will be stored in one place.
Correct.
So
Okay.
on premise
So as I'm
cloud.
saying, load balance, database optimized. Excuse me. So if you can, if I can write on a more proper way, though we can say a single historical store component. Okay. There is no other single historical store component. KDB database optimized for write operation, writes, and multiple real-time component. You can say store component itself. Multiple real-time store component is with the KDB database for its roles, which queries are load balanced. Okay, I said database optimization. Okay, so in the data server, the KDB that we talk on the community, that is okay there. But whenever I'm talking about the KDB component in the data server, so it's a single historical component where it will KDB database optimize for the write whenever you are writing something. But whenever you want to fetch, so there are multiple real-time store component. Okay, so might be one question answers, there are multiple iframs, or it is asked by multiple users. Okay, so whenever you are reading it, okay, so the KDB database is optimized across whatever the query you are or whatever the question you are perform, and these are load balance. Now is it clear?
Yeah. So, Piyush, sir, any major changes happens because people are if people are using on-premise or people are using cloud. At my workplace, they are very consistent about using on-premise because of the control thing they have. But I've seen a lot of big organizations, they do not care. They just move to Appian Cloud. So, any major changes in architecture that happens in the background, the ones that we just.
Zero changes. The difference between on-premise and cloud is most probably the business or the client. Just a second, no? Excuse me. So the main or major difference between on-premise and cloud is, I can say, one of them have advantage, one of the disadvantage. So disadvantage of using cloud, I can say, it is less secure than the on-premise any day. So major banking customer, okay, are using the on-premise because their data are more secure. Because let's say if they make it on the hosted on the cloud, so we can access from anywhere, and there is a data loss also happen. And on cloud, sometimes there is a ransomware also happened. So the data theft is the biggest risk. So that's why still people are using the on-premise, but they upgraded that security scans and but yeah, you can upload any file. There is no restriction on the Appian cloud, whereas in the on-premise, definitely there is a restriction of the file, right? So that's why they are using the Appian on-premise network. One more difference is, let's say right now in cloud there is a 23.2 version, sorry, 3 version, but still in the on-premise there is a 23.1 version. Okay, but how? Like, I mean, if they are going to up to date and getting stored, so basically it is always one or two version behind the on-premise network. Rest, all the things are same. And one thing is that in on-premise they need to use their own database. Okay, the is cloud only provided the by default database. Okay,
Thank you. Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the object. Give it not take more time. Or you want to cover it later? What do you want? Guys,
Uh, it's already 1 o'clock, so I can hang around.
that's why I'm asking, because before I starting, it is at least taking 30 minutes, not lesser than that. Preeti, Ram,
I'm okay if we can do it in next session or this session. I'm okay with the things. No issues.
okay. So yeah, what do you want, Deepak? Next session?
Uh, yeah, I mean, if we can do it on next session, that will be
No,
also
I'm
good.
not an issue, man. Your grasping power, okay. Make sure there is nothing bounce. That's only I need to worry about.
No, I mean, like I mean, if it's you know, if it drags too much, either I'm going to lose it now, and then again have to catch
Yeah,
up.
exactly. That's why I'm asking. Okay, that is perfect then. Yeah, we'll cover in the next session.